AMN Drivetime is sponsored by AISIN, your trusted and reliable source for aftermarket automotive components and technology. Visit AISINaftermarket.com for more information.
Michael, welcome to AMN Drivetime, sponsored by our good friends at AISIN.
Thanks for having me on board. Looking forward to our discussion.
So, Michael, you've been in the automotive industry for 30 plus years, as have I, coincidentally. Walk us through your journey to the aftermarket. Did you find the aftermarket, or did the aftermarket find you?
That's a great question. I've been at this for, like you said, 30 plus years. My first foray into the automotive business was with Chrysler and Chrysler Mopar. I was there for 15 plus years, and I did a multitude of things there, everything from finance to product to reporting to marketing. And my final foray there was I ran their remanufacturing business for a little bit of time. So at that point, I'd been there 15 years. I wanted to try something different. I went out and did some business on my own. I had some real estate ventures that I got involved in. Did that for a little while. In 2010, I had to go back and get a real job, and I ended up landing at Dana as an account manager there, calling on their OES service customers throughout North America. So great time, interesting time. I learned a ton at Dana. I was there about 7 years, and always in a little bit of time in the OE, but majority in the aftermarket side. And ultimately, I ended up as their director of North America aftermarket. So it was a great learning experience. I really enjoyed my time there. And in December of 2017, I ended up, GSP came knocking at the door, and I went to work for GSP, which was has been a great ride for the last 5.5 years. I really enjoyed my time here. So it's a combination of factors, right? Some of it, I started in the automotive business. I ended up working in the parts business at Mopar, and it just gradually led into the aftermarket. And it's been a great fit for the last 15 years.
Terrific. Yeah, there's a lot of folks in the aftermarket that did some time at Dana over the years, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of us around. Every time I go to Apex, I stop at the Circle Bar and I see all the ex-Dana guys there. So it's really an interesting conversations, and they're all doing very well. So that the Dana background has served them well over time.
So, Michael, give us just a quick overview of GSP product offerings, capabilities, a little bit of history of the business, if you would.
Sure. GSP, unlike some of the companies in the automotive aftermarket, we are a true manufacturer. We manufacture 5 key product lines. CV Axle, we're like the leading aftermarket manufacturer globally. We manufacture wheel hubs and bearings. We manufacture loaded struts, rubber to metal parts, steering and suspension. We have global distribution. We distribute to 120 countries all over the world. And we have about 2,300 plus team members throughout the world. Multiple distribution options. We offer domestic distribution, direct import distribution. We can do distribution out of finished goods warehouses in China. We're very flexible for our customers here in North America. The company actually started in 1985 by Mr. Joe, who was our current chairman of the board. He was the founder. And it started as a company to make parts for Fiat taxi cabs, way back when, before the Industrial Revolution in China. So he started in 1985. In 2021, we actually went public. We are now a public organization on the Shanghai Exchange, and we're doing somewhere north of $450 million in sales across the world. So I'm very excited to be part of that growth. We've exploded here in North America, and we continue to find new opportunities and become a bigger player in the aftermarket.
So you were promoted to COO in 2019 of GSP,
Hmm. Hmm.
and you guys you're a big organization, no question. But in the past, you've worked for even bigger organizations, like you mentioned, Chrysler and Dana, right? Chrysler, one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yep.
What's it like working, although still for a big organization, smaller on a relative basis to say a Chrysler and a Dana?
That's a great question. And it's been one of the most rewarding places I've ever worked at. So, we're much more nimble. This organization is more nimble. I'm able to react. Our team is able to react to customer needs and market needs much more quickly than I've been able to do in the past, or organizations I've been with in the past. I have access to all decision makers in the organization, within minutes. And programs, quotes, strategies are quickly reviewed and decisioned upon. So, I also one of the most rewarding things here at GSP has been my ability, or I've enjoyed my ability to build a team of outstanding aftermarket professionals. So we started with a very small team when I got here, and we are, growing. And I've been able to handpick and work with people that I brought on board. So it's been fantastic.
So, Michael, you touched just a little bit on your team, but as I understand it, you've really built a great team at GSP North America over the last few years. Tell us about some of the additions you've made, what you look for when you're bringing someone new onto the GSP team.
So, when I came on board in December 2017, we had a very small team. And I worked very closely at that time with our North America CEO, Richard Zhao. He was my boss. He's the founder's son, very bright guy. And I came in and I was able to quickly assess and make recommendations. And Richard was very open-minded to recommendations and how we could become a better overall organization, better service the customer, and bring the right people on board. So when I came in, we immediately started to retool and add to the team. Our first gap that I noticed was product planning and cataloging. We really didn't have a strong product planner and or cataloger at the time. So we added Robert Morgado, who is now our director of product planning. He's now leading a team of probably 10 plus people that do nothing but product planning, cataloging, for all of North America, Canada, and Mexico. We also did not have someone who could drive the GSP message into the market. We had no marketing at all. So the next step was to bring on Autumn Lamb, our marketing director. And she's provided excellent content for our GSP customers and prospects. We're all over LinkedIn. Our social media presence has grown significantly because of her. So she's done a fantastic fantastic job. We retooled the sales team and built a team in GSP Mexico and operations. So it's been a very rewarding 5.5 years. I really enjoy being here, but the people that we brought on board, the team that we've built, has made us ultimately successful. So I'm honored to kind of lead them day in and day out.
So you guys have a major presence in North America. You indicated you're selling into 120 different countries, but you got a major presence here in North America. What primarily, or what are the things that are driving your growth and your explosive growth in the last few years in North America?
Yeah, so in 2019 or 18, we developed the GSP North America vision and core values. So, and I brought on board when I came here a very strict strategic planning model, right? That focuses on the 4 P's, of marketing, price, place, product, promotion, So that drives all our strategic planning within the product lines. We've built a reputation over time for excellent product, competitive pricing, industry leading cataloging, and on time delivery with great fill rates. So it's really our execution that's taking us to the next level. Customers appreciate it, and the word is spreading. So, and then within some large customers, we're getting more and more opportunities because of our performance. So I think that's really the driving force in our growth over the last 5 years.
Sounds like you're just focusing on solid, basic blocking and tackling and excellent execution.
That's what I call it. I talk to my team, we speak to my team and we say, these are blocking and tackling issues. If you can get this right, if you can get the blocking and tackling done properly, you're going to win time and time again, but you have to be able to do the basics.
Michael, as I understand it, a lot of your manufacturing is in China. During the pandemic, there were clearly supply chain disruptions all over. It seemed to affect almost every industry or every industry, obviously including the aftermarket. How did that affect you guys? Did you have disruptions during that time frame? And if so, how did you manage through it? Any lessons learned?
Yeah, Bill, that's another great question. There were a lot of lessons learned during that time. At the very beginning of the pandemic, first quarter of 2020, we were, looking at our inventory position in the U.S., looking at our manufacturing positions in China, and we made a conscious decision to keep our foot on the gas. So in the first quarter, our senior leadership met. We talked extensively about how we would continue the business. Our thought process was that the business would be there. We're going to see a slight delay due to lockdowns and some of the other things that were occurring around the world, but we didn't think the business was going to go away. So at that time, we made a conscious effort to continue our ordering process, continue shipping part, keep our manufacturing facilities up and operating at capacity to make sure that we could take care of our customers. As things kind of let up in the U.S., we guessed correctly, and our business really took off once the lockdowns were lifted. Also, as lead times kept increasing, in late 2020, early 2021, we just simply took a position that we need to have more inventory on the water, and we ratcheted up our days of supply inside our own facilities. So as things, got a little slower, we kept ratcheting up our days of supply in our U.S. facilities, and we maintained very high levels of fill through the whole pandemic. Mostly in the low 90s at worst. Now, at the end, when when lead times came back to normal, we were kind of burdened like a lot of others. We had excess inventory, but we've been in a burn-off position, and today we're currently in a great position with inventory with minimal excess, and our business has grown significantly because of our move. So in hindsight, great move, great learning lesson for the whole organization. We're very happy at our approach over the whole supply chain and pandemic management.
Michael, that was really a smart move. A lot of people went the other way, right? And cut back,
Yeah.
and you guys ratcheting up availability and manufacturing. I think that had to be far more positive than it was negative, even like your little end of 22, 23 situation.
Yeah, it was the right call. I had support from our executive leadership in China. They were a little nervous about the whole situation, understandably, right? But in the end, we all made the right call, and it has benefited us tremendously.
So, Michael, GSP North America recently launched its garage support program for techs and DIYers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope to accomplish with the new program? And in your view, why is it so important for parts manufacturers to offer the value-added services like tech tips and training resources?
So our ultimate goal, we have an ultimate goal, and adding resources and training to assist the ultimate purchaser, the technician, right? One of our goals has always been get the GSP brand name in the technician's mind, right? Make us first on the list. So these type of trainings and support programs really are in an effort to further develop the GSP brand. That was our ultimate goal. We operate in a hyper competitive environment today. We feel value-added services help GSP stand out in the marketplace. So that really is what we're trying to do. One of my big pet peeves in this industry is returns. It's just one of the most wasteful things that we have, wasteful things that go on in the business. So with that, the better our customer is trained, the better they understand our product, the better they understand, the nuances and details, the less likely we are of getting something back from a technician. So those are two primary goals in providing the support program.
So, Michael, it is tradition on AMN Drivetime to do something we call lightning round. And
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you're going to give me a quick answer.
Sure.
All right?
Yep.
Lions or Red Wings?
Red Wings.
Favorite restaurant in Vegas?
Joe Stone Crab.
Automatic or stick shift?
Stick.
Hockey or soccer?
Hockey always.
Netflix or go to the theater?
Netflix. I like my couch.
Michael, at home, are you a DIY guy or a DIFM guy around the house?
I'm a do it for me. It's we work so hard. The last thing I want to do is chores around the house when I'm done with my work day. So I'm a guy who picks up the phone and gets somebody in here to help me.
You and me both. Michael, great to have you on AMN Drivetime, sponsored by our friends at AISIN.
Thanks for having me on, Bill. Really enjoyed it. Hope let me know if you ever need me again. This was fun.
AMN Drivetime is sponsored by AISIN, your trusted and reliable source for aftermarket automotive components and technology. Visit AISINaftermarket.com for more information.